Il laptop ini Cina ya. Bueno, sí, sí. Si acaso quieres. Yo lo uso con y puedo abrir, como tiene estricto pico, la lata como si de esa lata abro cuatro pantallas y cada pantalla tiene como cuatro o cinco como un whisky de emergencia que puedo dejar. Yo puedo hacer. Ya decido. Yo tengo el estilo todavía de que trabajaba para empresas, de que tengo dos monitores de 27 pulgadas para poder trabajar.
Lo que no me gusta es un poco complejo.
Buenos días. Si les gustaría encontrar asiento para dar inicio a la sesión, if y'all can find a seat to get the session started. Thank you so much. Buenos días a todos. Hello everyone, my name is Armando. I do media communications for the UTRG Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center, and I want to welcome you to this session of 1 Million Cups. So what is 1 Million Cups? 1 Million Cups is a national program that aims to foster educational experiences and community building for a community of both new and aspiring entrepreneurs. It's a nationwide program. Within the national landscape, we belong to the Southwest region, and within the Southwest region, we share one responsibility to build charges of talent chamber of commerce. So what do we do? So every week we invite 2 entrepreneurs to the community. Each entrepreneur is then given 10 minutes to present, and each presentation is then followed up with a 10-minute Q&A. There's some general points we want in this session. One is to find out how we as a community can help you as entrepreneurs succeed, and to see the general theory of the women's which is that often ideas and solutions happen over a coffee. On top of it all, the whole session is live streamed, and there is complimentary coffee associated with every session. So who we are, everything you see here from our volunteers, our speakers and presenters, everything you see here is spoken by the community. We're just here to facilitate. And when we have a presenter up here, more than just a business pitch. We want to hear their story, and more than just networking. We want to make meaningful and lasting connections. As I said in the beginning, it's all about building a community. That same period has sponsored over 2,600 cups of coffee since day one. If you want to be involved in any way, shape, or form through a small coffee sponsorship or bringing a product or service of your own to display with us, we're happy to collaborate and work with you. Make something happen. At this point, it is working hours, so if you have a phone call to make or a phone call to answer, you can step into the lobby or using the phone booths in the surrounding areas. Anyone who has a speaker up here, I highly encourage you to engage with what the speaker has to say, engage with the story being shared today. At this point, I'd like to invite our first speaker over, and that is Carlos Ramirez. He's the owner of Shopping Ecosystems.
Thank you. Buenos días. ¿Se escucha bien? You guys hear it okay? All right. Okay, good. Yeah, I was chatting with some other members of the community right now. I was telling that this is probably my first time doing this, so but I mean, I kind of feel kind of confident because I mean, I know I'm in the same similar background people here, right? I mean, people trying to start a business or something. So I mean, I'm kind of better. So I mean, I appreciate your feedback at the end of the. I mean, I guess all the questions, but I mean, if you can also provide feedback, that's much appreciated. So that I can learn and take this as a learning step. So, shopping ecosystem. So. Well, my name is Carlos Ramirez. Sorry, let me start with that. Carlos Ramirez. I'm originally from San Luis Potosí. I arrived here to McAllen in 2010, and I've experienced and I've learned and I've seen this community grow. And I think you guys probably live here probably longer than I've been here. But I mean, I'm just impressed for how fast it has grown, and all the community, and mainly the growth that I've seen is around the retail industry, right? I mean, there's a lot of retailers trying to come to the region and do their business here, right? I mean, because of our not too much of, I mean, the region is growing, but I mean, there's also the fact that we're close to the border, right? Close to Monterrey, right? So there's a lot of retailers, right? I mean, I remember that we were going through what they were calling the retail apocalypse, right? And there were many retailers closing stores around the country, and not here, right? And I think we just get close Sears, right? I mean, but I was thinking, and yeah, what problem needs to be solved here? I mean, and also from my background, I mean, my wife is an avid shopper, and my mom, I mean, my mom literally she can spend the whole day in a shopping mall, and she will be happy. And I have a lot of friends who travel here to Texas to do their shopping, and it was thinking and just nothing came up. I mean, until one day my wife told me that she was pregnant. So that night I couldn't sleep. I mean, to be honest, I was not necessarily like afraid of it or anything. I was really, really happy, and I was thinking all night that I want to teach my kids how. I mean, to be entrepreneurs, to be people who look for solve problems and start something important and relevant, right? And then how am I going to teach them if I'm not an entrepreneur myself, right? So I mean, that night, I mean, literally in the middle of the night, I came up with this idea, and I was like, just wake up and start typing and putting all the ideas. And I mean, it's been a process. I mean, but the important thing here is when you put the intention and the idea, things start to open, right? I mean, somehow. And I guess that was, I mean, my experience. I mean, something things I don't, I'm not an expert on something, but I mean, things open in a, I don't know, I mean, I guess probably lucky way, or I don't know, just attracted those or whatever you want to say. But I mean, I think that's important, and I think that's part of the story. And I wanted to share that just because of the way of this event is. But basically, what we're trying to do is developing ecosystems between international shoppers and local economies. Um, Here's just my name is just my wife and me for now. My wife is a social media designer. She is a digital marketer. She has some. I mean, she's done some marketing also and advertising for different companies. And myself, I'm a mechanical engineer. And I like to find problems and make things simpler. I mean, I work for a manufacturing company right now, very focused on waste elimination and value stream mapping and all those kind of things. So I mean, that's what I do, what I'm passionate about. So the problem that we're trying to solve is the sales tax rebate program for international shoppers is obsolete and ineffective. I mean, specifically talking about the manifesto. I don't know if you guys know the manifesto process. Anybody? Yeah. So the sales tax rebate program basically is the U.S. Constitution. That says that any merchandise that is exported out of the United States should not pay sales taxes, right? And the state of Texas has a way for tourists, people coming to travel and do their shopping, to get a tax refund on that money. So I'm using my friend here who comes very often. His name is Mario. He comes 3 to 4 times a year to his shopping in Texas, and he finds things that cannot find in his country at a fair price. And he also gets time to visit some friends and go to the island. And then he has 3 options, right? I mean, he doesn't have time to do it, and just he leaves without paying his taxes back, or he just goes to a customs broker. I mean, in this case, Texas Casa de Cambio. There are many local small shops that they offer the manifesto process, right? I mean, there's sometimes lines. I mean, depending on the season, sometimes there are big lines. But the problem with that process is they give you the certificate and you have to come back in 24 hours to the stores. So imagine if you went to 20 different stores, you have to go to each of the 20 different stores to claim your taxes, right? Within the next 24 hours. Right? So that's the other option. They only don't do it that much. And then the other option is there are some companies that buy your right to the refund. So you basically give them your certificates, and they claim the taxes for you, and they give you just 50% of the money. So I mean, say you have taxes for $100, so they will keep $50 and they give you the other $50. But that's immediately. That's time that you claim it and you prove that you're going to take the merchandise out of the country. I mean, that's when they do it. Right? So, according to a survey we did survey 212 participants, so 42% they said they were going to, or they wanted to do the manifesto process, 42% of them. But yeah, 95% of the international shoppers who claim a tax refund leave the country right after getting their money back. So that was something that also, I mean, no wonder that some retailers, they don't want to do it, right? So when you go to some retailers and they say, well, no, we don't do that here. Yeah, I mean, so that's a problem for us. Yeah, we don't do it. But because the people is not spending the money here in the region, right? And we have officials and we have people here interested in the economy who say, well, the city is making money out of those international shoppers, which is correct. Because but the problem is they're not spending the money here, right? I mean, what would happen if the money would be spent here? So 100% of the retailers that I interviewed would like to see those dollars spent back in the stores, right? So how do we solve that problem? Basically, we're planning to create like a loyalty program, right? I mean, we're kind of a mobile application where you create an account and take a snap of your receipts. I mean, there's already technology for that. I mean, you create a QR code that you still need, because of the tax code, you still need to go to a custom broker to get certified and certify the merchandise. But that process will be simpler with a QR code. And then the 100% of the funds will be available electronically the same day. That's what we're aiming to have. And then we will redeem the funds. You can redeem your funds at participating retailers, hotels, and restaurants. Just here's another image of the same thing. I mean, it's basically a cloud-based platform streaming tax refund transaction between international shoppers, manifesto providers, and local retailers, right? I mean, that's basically it. And yeah, I mean, there's other things and other revenue streams that could derive from it, but I mean, that's basically the general idea. So that's it. So we're out. Question to feedback.
¿Español? Español. Okay. Mencionaste que algunos retailers no quieren hacer ya el trámite. Antes era muy común que todas las tiendas todos los días. No me di cuenta yo, por ejemplo, en qué momento lo dejaron de hacer hasta que compré un refrigerador, ¿verdad? Y no me quisieron devolver las taxas. Entonces, ¿para eso funcionaría o hay alguna manera de hacerlo?
Sí, o sea, la idea es convencer al retailer, ¿verdad? El retailer tiene que pagar sus impuestos al Estado, mes por mes, cuarto por cuarto. Entonces, si la mercancía se demuestra que se exportó, pues es tu derecho que te regresen el dinero. El problema es la parte administrativa de contabilizar y acumular el certificado de exportación, porque al momento que ellos hacen su declaración con el Estado, pues entonces ellos tienen que llevar el certificado de exportación, el manifiesto, y decir, bueno, por este refrigerador no te voy a pagar impuestos porque va a salir del país. Y esa contabilidad no es tan sencilla. Y hay veces que si es una tienda grande, pues a veces esa contabilidad no pasa en esa tienda, sino pasa en otro lugar. Entonces, pues es difícil administrarla, es el problema que se trata de resolver. Sí.
Entonces hay que hacer un manifiesto también.
Sí.
Perdón. Ir con los custom para que certifiquen.
Sí. Sí, sí.
What happens if somebody, say, goes to the aisle, purchases goods, and rather than going to a customs broker, they mail it to themselves? is there a way to recollect that tax once they're back in Mexico? Because they mailed it from,
It needs to be certified by a customs broker. So if you take the merchandise to the customs broker and they mail it to you, for example, or they certify that you're gonna mail it to another place out of the country, they need to certify that before the merchandise leaves the country. So I mean, they need to either, there's three options, right? I mean, there's one, they need to either see that the merchandise is being placed in a transportation that's gonna leave the country, or you need to certify that the merchandise, that the buyer of the merchandise is leaving the country, getting into a flight, or I mean, or in a bus or ship or whatever, that they are leaving the country with the merchandise. But a custom broker needs to certify it.
so technically, I guess, the island area, for people that fly here internationally, want to buy things, they need a custom broker there.
Yes,
They don't have.
there's not custom brokers I mean, there are, for example, there's one company that has a location in the airport. But I mean, not in all the airports, right? I mean, there's probably here in Texas, there's locations, for example, in Houston or in Dallas, but not here in McAllen or in Brownsville. I mean, there's not a location. But I guess that's an opportunity, right? But yeah, and they don't know, right? That's an opportunity. Anybody else?
If there's any fee related to that certification required?
That's a good question, right? So right now there is a fee. The idea is that this is free for the customer, for the user. So it will be, I mean, right now, the manifesto, I mean, pay probably $8 or $10 or a percentage of the value of the merchandise, or the 50% fee of the value of the taxes. So the idea is free for the user, right? So they keep all their money as long as they spend it here. No? What else? Feedback? There's no other question or any feedback is welcome.
One question, okay, so in some way, your business model is gonna be focused on getting some money from the company that's gonna give the service, I mean, when they can bring the cash, I mean, the hotel restaurant that you said.
Sorry, if I understood correctly, you're asking where am I gonna get the money?
Yeah, your business model is gonna be supported in the, let's say, the partnership that we're gonna develop with the hotel restaurants and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Good question.
I think what Doug mentioned, that's interesting. So there's a lot of people that come from England or Canada.
Yeah.
They come to the island, they buy stuff, and like, I'm just gonna ship it to my home country. But those are small stores. The manifest still work for them, or you have to pre-program those stores to understand you have to reimburse because you're okay with this. It will be exempt to the government, or how does it work with the small store?
Yeah, I mean, any store that sells any goods can participate, right? So, I mean, I mean, if, for example, we're in business, right? If, somebody buys something from a small local retailer and they do the manifesto and we get the certificate, and then we go with them and we say, we have this certificate of export for this merchandise that was bought here by my customer, and then do you want to be part of this program? So they can, whenever they come back, spend their money, or anybody else, right?
Okay, so that's the idea behind the program, in order to incentivize the retailers in the island or the community
Mhm.
for those customers to come back. Maybe they don't come back because they're from India,
Yeah,
but maybe they can at least have a way to
yeah, recover the
spend
money.
money in that retail.
Yeah, yeah, and they also have the option to, well, I mean, the people may say, well, I'm from England, I'm going to come back, or I don't know if I will. So, yeah, I mean, we can give them their cash back, that will take a fee, same as what they're doing right now for a business model.
Which is the 50%.
Yes, which is the 50% they pay.
How do you recruit those 50%?
How do you, sorry?
How do you recruit those guys that collect the 50% so I can send out?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
The international tax, how much of that is a local increase and how much of that goes to the state? The reason why I'm asking is because if the sales tax, goes to the federal government or state, then local politicians have no interest in supporting that as much as they would support the business. Otherwise, if revenue is coming to the city, then you're pitting EDC, economic development, against city revenue. So that's why it's important to know, does city revenue get affected by it? Not.
yeah.
And that's where I'm headed with that.
That's a good question. So the sales taxes is a state tax. I mean, it's reported by the state, Texas, state controller. And the taxes that we pay is 8.25%. So 6.25% goes to the state and 2% goes to the city, right? So 1 in 10 jobs are created by the tourism industry. And here in Texas, it's 13% actually. If you take also the retail jobs that are created here in Texas, I mean, it's more pay than it sounds, right? I mean, 40% of the sales taxes in La Plaza Mall in McAllen are done by Mexican shoppers. Just to get an idea. So there's a lot of jobs created because of the retail industry of what goes out of the country. So I mean, that's very interesting.
I get that, but what I'm trying to do is look through the lens on one side as the business, and through the lens as the politician. And while job creation is great for the politician, more often they want to spend more money. So they're looking at a decrease in taxes. If it's going to business, they're not going to see as much. And that's why I'm trying to understand, does the city use tax revenue in this process? Or because the city collects a certain percentage, as you indicated, of sales tax, which goes to the state. Well, this additional tax that happens from international shoppers, does all of that go to the state, or is any of that local? Because if it all goes to the state, then you have support of the city politicians too. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So if there are more employees, more people employed in a community, there's going to be more spending. So I mean, these people who is now employed are gonna.
I get that, but the politician may not see it unless you can tell them specifically the percentage of money that goes to the city and state on it.
Yeah.
It's just to help you with that argument. It doesn't.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, and that's very good argument. So, yeah, basically, there's going to be data here, right? And there's going to be here information. How many people is coming here to the state? How much are they spending? We're going to know things that they don't know right now. The city needs to know how many people is coming, how often they're coming, how much they're spending. Behavior things that are that can be used with this platform to even fund that, right? I mean, obviously the city of Brownsville, for example, or all the cities are interested in getting more visits. I mean, they not only are getting revenue from sales taxes, but they are also getting money from hotels and restaurants. You cannot claim a sales tax back refund on hotels and restaurants, but these people have to come here to eat, for stay for the night. I mean, there are many things happening in the economy related to tourism that are affected and make a very good business case, right? I mean, what happens when people have more money and have an incentive to come back? So whenever they come back, they're gonna spend more money, right?
And I agree with that argument. It's 100% on target if the city's not losing tax revenue. That's the only point I'm getting. And that's, because that's so what it means is if the city doesn't lose tax revenue, then you can talk to the cities and have them support the initiative. If they're losing revenue, ignore the cities and go straight to business.
Probably that's the way I think that insurance.
Yeah, but you gotta know what that is, if it's an issue.
Yeah, so the stage, yeah, that's a good question. So the certificate of export has a stamp, and the stamp costs $2.10. So that money is just for a stamp. It doesn't cost that much, right? But they're making money out of it. So they're gonna keep making money, those $2.10, and they're still gonna make those because people are still gonna make the manifesto. So they're gonna collect that. But I mean, the truth is, the sales taxes are an income of the city to spend for the local residents, right? But people who's spending the money is not local residents, so they don't like. Yeah, I mean, it's
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, yeah, probably, I would like to probably hear more about the feedback probably after
They are
that's
collecting the taxes from the people that live here.
exactly. There are also, and people who works here, right? People who is employed here, people who lives here, so everyone will collect it, and where, because they are now, employed by the retail and tourist industry, right? But, yeah, I mean, it's a good question, and I think that's probably something that I need to clarify more. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Carlos. He didn't mention it, but Carlos is a Big Idea Black for One Plant winner from West Africa. And he's one of the computer competitors for the upcoming Startup Contest here in Brownsville. So if you want to hear more of his pitch and his upcoming endeavors and what he has planned for the future of his company, just keep an eye out for the upcoming Startup Contest happening here at Bridge. But next week, we have the holiday spirit week, December 16th to the 20th. Super high pitch energy tonight. On Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, open house. So the building's open at 3 p.m. on each corresponding day. There's the pastries and coffee provided by members of the community. The whole day it's an open house, so it's free and open to the community. But at 3 p.m. we're providing pastries, hot coffee. So at Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. For the 1 Million Cups, there is different companies providing pastries. One of them is Nadia Gerber. She's sitting over there. She's providing some Russian pastries that she's bringing, as well as coffee from a espresso. That's 14 a.m. And we're bringing some speakers for the holiday. And Thursday and Friday on the square day, holiday pajama. I believe these are only for members. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are open house. So if you want to see how the whole environment works, who we work with, and how we can help you, I highly recommend you to seek out and come on by on those days. And that's all I have for you on this day. We had a second speaker, but he had unforeseen circumstances, so we weren't able. He was casting, so we weren't able to have a second speaker. But we'll have 2 speakers next week, same time, same place. So that's all I have for you today. On behalf of everyone here at the eBridge Center, UTR, GBCC, and BTX, thank you so much for coming, and have a wonderful day.
Pero